So we're going to get started and I'm going to have us sitting today. Yeah, good. All right, so take a seat, elevate your hips. You can be on a chair, you can be on a blanket, but a good amount of elevation in your hips would be excellent. Get the music started. Give me a moment, I'm just kind of reading through these. Okay. Hips, shoulders, back. All right, wonderful. Good to see you. Yeah, I think it helps to, have I don't know, part of showing up as relationship, right? And getting to know me and letting me know you. So it always lights me up when somebody reaches out to me. All right, we're going to take a seat. And I always encourage you to help you transition into your practice. I guess a couple things I want to say. And I know I've repeated this, so forgive me if you've already heard it, but creating a space, and it could be as simple as having a candle or closing the door or an image or something that you enjoy looking at, or being in a space that has, natural lighting, or you can see the trees, or yeah, the space makes a difference and it doesn't have to be fancy, and I think also knowing that you're not going to be interrupted so that you can really sink in. I think of this like um, changing the station on a radio dial. So we're kind of pulling out of the energy that we're in daily with responsibilities and interactions and engaging externally, and really supporting the hour to be internal and to feel safe enough that you're not going to be distracted so that you can do that. So setting the phone aside, those kinds of things. I will say I really like, we want to be careful with EMF, of course, but there's something about having, for me, earbuds I'm able to drop in. Anyway, you can see if that's something important to you. All right, as always, when we sit, if your knees are hiked up here, it's going to cause tension in your hips. So we want the knees to relax down. And the way we do that is lift the hips up. So you might need, you can buy these probably on Amazon or something, like yoga blankets, Mexican blankets. Let's start by transitioning by looking. Just pick 3 or 4 things. And just take a moment. Don't do a drive-by. Like, take a moment, think into something in particular, feel it, see the colors. How does it feel? The walls, the clothing that you have, feeling the energy of us coming together. We feel the community, even though we're not dialoguing with each other. We feel that there is a common thread, that there is community, that this class is not random, right? There's a common thread with everyone. All right. Once you feel like you've settled into your space, go ahead and let your eyes close. You might put your hands on your body in some way, like maybe give yourself a little hug. And again, the camera's on me and you're too far away for me to even see, so don't worry about that. Give yourself a bit of an embrace, or hands on your heart, or just something that kind of is like connection to yourself. And if you just were sitting with a dear friend that you feel so like, you can be transparent with and fully authentic, and he or she just asked you, how are you? How are you today? And you can look at, how are you physically? How are you emotionally, mentally, energetically? And let's start to bring our attention to the breath. It is the doorway, I feel, when we're stepping into any kind of mindfulness practice. can place your hands, if you want to, on tops of your thighs or on top of your knees. Often we bring the thumb and index finger together to touch. Today, I would encourage your palms be faced down. My body's kind of wanting to rock a little bit forward and back. Yours might want to circle. It's very slow and subtle, but settling into your seat, feeling your body breathing in and breathing out. And I just want you to begin to count the length of your inhalation and allow exhale to be twice as long and let it evolve. Meaning, if my first inhalation is a count of 3, I'm going to exhale for 6. If my next exhalation is 4, I'd exhale for 8, 5, and 10. It doesn't have to be the same every time, but I'm looking for increasing your capacity to drink the breath in, to fill up through the nose, and slowing and elongating the exhale. For me, I like to exhale through the mouth. That feels so soothing and cooling and calming to me. Can be through the nose as well. 1-to-2 ratio breath. Working towards inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 10. We restrict gently the muscles at the back of the throat so that you can hear it. It's like a little, it's almost like a, there's something soothing even about the sound. Kind of the way white noise is soothing. It holds our attention and it gives us feedback. I want you to do this just like we're going to do it another maybe half of a minute to a minute. Slowing the exhale down twice the length as your inhale. Slowing the exhalation down twice the length as your inhale. And letting it like we're pulling out of any kind of conditioning that's like, get it done, push through, move quickly. You get to slow it down. And there's so many gifts in that slowing down. And it really can, for many of us, actually be quite uncomfortable. But from a physiological standpoint, it's just infinite, the gifts of slowing down the breath, what it offers your immune system, what it offers your lymphatic system, your nervous system, how it affects the brain, how it affects the heart, how it affects every system in the body. And you've got this tool that you have access to all the time. Try one more. And honestly, if at any point there's something that isn't accessible to you in the physical practice, to just turn to your breath is just as powerful. Doesn't mean it's not a successful practice or you're doing it wrong. The last image that I just want to offer you, so let your breath just kind of come into its natural state, but you're mindful of it, that it's continuously full and smooth. I want to offer this image of a lake. So I walk in the mornings in this beautiful park and there's a lake there. And so that's the image that comes to mind for me. You can see if there's one that comes to mind for you, but the idea is we want the mind to be calm and quiet. It's like a still lake where the beautiful trees and foliage and whatever's around it is a mirror image. When the mind is busy, preoccupied, multitasking, anxious, it's like ripples in the top of the water, and it distorts reality. It distorts that mirror image. When we bring the breath in, when we slow down, mindful, compassionate, that calms. That's a metaphor, obviously, that we want to calm the mind, because when the mind is disrupted, it distorts. It distorts reality. So just hold that vision, clear, calm lake, gorgeous day. Maybe it's morning, maybe it's evening, maybe the stars or the full moon's out. And when you've gotten that lake to be calm and quiet, let's bring in your intention for today's practice. Let it be something that comes from like the heart. Let the energy underneath it be really patient and loving and supportive, not, yeah, I think you know what I mean. We want there to be an ease to it. All right, I know we take quite a bit of time in the beginning, but for me, I have found, and with the people, that I've worked with for so many years, that if we just jump into practice, we're kind of maybe half here. It can be forgettable and we don't really receive the full potency. We want to get the body in a state of receptivity and calm and presence. All right. So we're just going to take a simple little twist here. We're going to reach both arms up. I like to just move the spine in a few directions. So just reaching your fingertips up to the sky. See if there's maybe a little bit of a smile or a change in the expression on your face. We be in a state of gratitude that we get to be here. We're going to twist to the right. Take your left hand to your right knee. Take your right hand behind you. Twisting the spine, turn your gaze over the back shoulder. Your pelvis stays neutral. Rotating the spine. We'll do some shoulder stuff today. Inhale, arms reaching up. And hips. I heard it. I like requests. It's much more fun for me. Twisting the other direction. Rotating and looking over that back shoulder. And inhale, reach both arms up. Let's take just a lateral. Go ahead and bring your right hand down. Take your left arm up. Puff your rib cage out to the side. Try to have your shoulders stacked. Roll the top shoulder back, maybe lift the gaze up. Again, I'll always remind you, if there's anything that's not accessible to you, to just let that be there and do what you can. Stay present with me. That's the gift, really. I mean, we want to move our bodies and build strength and all that, but can still have a wonderful practice if there's things you can't do. We're going to bring it up this time. Interlace your fingers at the top. Flip your palms up. Press through the palms and straighten through your elbows. Take a nice deep breath in and see if there's a little arch, like just a little arch, like your ribs puff forward a little bit and your gaze lifts. And then you're going to exhale and drop your arms. Press the palms of your hands to meet. Tuck your chin into your chest. Shoulder blades pull away from the spine. Rounding your back. And let's just do 2 more of these. Inhale, rolling to the top of the sitting bones, lifting up. Big breath in. Exhale, draw the navel back towards the spine. Press away. Little flexion in the spine. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up again. Release your fingertips down on either side. So you kind of like crawled your hands away from you. And you're on your fingertips. Just drop your right ear to your right shoulder, stretching the neck. Like permission to be aware of the physical body and get out of being in the mind. Bring your head up, inhale, and take it to the other shoulder. You want to keep sending like signals of safety to the body. A smile can do that. A breath can do that. A hand on your heart can do that. Bring it back to center. And we're just going to walk the hands out in front. So you're taking a forward fold. I'm going to take the support out from underneath my hips because it's kind of keeping me from getting the stretch that I want. You could have your hands on blocks. You could still have support underneath you. What's important here this is why it's hard sometimes because I can't see you, is not to be rounding back like this, to be sitting up as tall as you can, and then only sliding the hands forward as much as you're maintaining that extension through the spine. And you just let the body be the guide. We wait for the invitation rather than like the ego driving what we want. It builds self-trust when we really honor what the body wants to do. Come on up. Switch the cross of your feet. We're just going to go forward one more time. Again, nice and straight. Hips are supported if you need it. Taking the hands out in front. We have opportunities again and again on the mat to watch when the judgment comes in or a harsh voice. Be aware of it, meet it, see if you want to change it. If we want to change something, we have to really bring it in close and be aware of it, be curious about it. And we'll slide the hands in. I want to offer a little, you're going to place your feet down. Take your hands behind you. Your fingertips are pointing in. I'm going to push down into the mat and pull my shoulders back and puff my chest. Now you can just stay here because it's a little bit of a stretch for your wrists. And we're pulling the shoulders back. If you feel like you've got the strength to lift up, 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 up. This is a shoulder opener. It strengthens the quads and the glutes, and maybe open your throat, drop your head back. Releasing back down. We're going to cross our ankles and come forward to tabletop, all fours. So it's interesting when we're a little unsure whether or not something is safe in the body, to just take your time. And if you're not sure, don't do it. Tuck my toes under. I always like to stretch the feet. The fascia in the feet, the toes. If this is too easy, you can walk your hands all the way back and sit back on your heels. Sliding your hands back forward. We're going to arch your spine. Take your tail up, head up. Cat tilt your spine. Tuck your chin. Let's do 3 more. Arch your spine. Inhale. Let's slow down together. Go in. Exhale. 2 more. Something about slowing down, Slowing down the movement. Just take 1 more. And then we're going to untuck our toes. I'm going to take a little distance between my knees. Send your seat back to your heels. Walk your hands forward until your forehead can come down. And soften your elbows. I like to rock a little bit side to side across my heels, like my hips just rock. Let your ribs expand into your legs as you breathe in, and let every cycle of breath be an affirmation or an affirming and anchoring in of whatever your intention was today. Like you bring it deeper into the tissues with every cycle of breath. All right, so let's bring our bodies back up. I'm going to take a squat. That's one way I really like to bring us up. So I would have your blocks if you have them. Your feet are going to tuck under. I'm going to take the knees up. So if your heels are lifted, you could put a blanket underneath your heels. You could bring your bottom to a wall. You could put the block underneath your seat. I know many of us are going to have issues with knees. Don't push through anything. Turn this into a forward bend. Lift your hips. And have your hands on the blocks there, just feeling the backs of the legs opening up. They're quite flexible. You might be able to hold opposite elbows. A little soft bend to your knees, sway side to side. Bring it back to center, and we're just going to slowly roll up to standing. Let the arms reach up overhead. And then just hold this for a moment. Turn the palms to face each other. Lift and spread your toes. And then we're going to interlace your hands behind your back. I really would love for us to have straps. There's a lot of shoulder work we can do with straps. We're going to see. Straighten your elbows. Now sweep your hands to your right hip. So fists on that right hip. Turn around and face you. You're going to point that right elbow back behind you, so make it disappear. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and drop your right ear to your right shoulder. The shoulders are drawn back and down. And we're going to sweep to the other side. Bring your hands to your left hip. Point that left elbow back behind you. Drop your ear to your shoulder. Kind of want to show you the shoulder opener that I'm wanting to do, but I'm concerned that not everybody has a strap. So we're going to pause for a moment, and really you could use a band of some kind if you wanted to. Forgive me. Okay. So I'm going to grab I can find it, yoga strap. Here we go. And here's a yoga strap. I'm just going to show this to you because you can always, you could probably use a hand towel. Okay, so I've got it wide, really wide. I'm going to stand with my feet hip distance. So take a moment, a hand towel may not be long enough, but I'm just going to show this to you. The arms are going to go up on the inhale, and they're going to go back. Slow, slow, slow. On the exhale, if you have any tear of any kind, I would not do this. You want to be really cautious. Your hands are wide, forward and back. You can always do this after class. I won't spend too much time. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, back and down. I would say start really wide, and if it's not enough, then you bring your hands closer together. Great for opening up the shoulders. So I'm going to do one more. And I always connect the body breathing as I'm moving. The strap that I get is, I would get an 8 or a 10 foot. It's got a little buckle on the end. So be a little particular. You're welcome to, again, contact me if you're not sure what to buy. The arms are going to come up overhead. I'm going to pull my hands apart. I'm going to take my body over to the side. Again, a towel would be fine here. Get creative. Bring it back to center. Inhale. And up and over to the left. I'll just do a couple more of these because I'm aware not everybody's going to have a strap. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Now we're working the obliques a little bit. We're laterally flexing the spine, opening up the rib cage. The shoulders get a nice opening as well. And we'll release. Okay. Let's step forward to the top of your mat and let's have your blocks, please. Blocks on either side. I do a modified sun salutation. Just start with me in Tadasana and mountain pose. Shoulders back. Mountain's often done with our hands in prayer. I like my arms at my sides with my palms turned forward, shoulders back, sternum lifted. Our posture Makes a huge difference. Totally different feeling if I'm kind of collapsed and slouched, right? Totally different emotional tone to that. So standing strong, heart open, present to whatever is here for you today. All right, on an inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. So hopefully you've done this with me before. We're going to come into a chair pose. If you haven't, sometimes watching is a great way to learn. We come down and the hands come onto the blocks. My back stays straight. I'm going to step the right foot back. I'm going to bring the right knee down. Stretching that right hip. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, hands releasing down. Slowing down together, right by lift and breath. I want you to learn this so you can refine it. Exhale, step it to the top. Feel the confidence that you could roll your mat out and do it on your own. Inhale to stand. Filling the lungs, filling the body with breath. Exhale, bring it back down. Nice straight spine. Wakes up the glutes, wakes up the legs. Your spinal extensors are engaged so your back isn't rounding. And we step the left leg back. And we bring the left knee down. You could double your mat. You could have a blanket, to put that knee down. Inhale, arms reach up. You could just be watching and breathing with me. Exhale, hands release down. Lift the thigh. I'm going to change it up the second time. Step forward to the top of the mat. Moving with grace. It's a Tai Chi flow. Inhale the arms up overhead. Let's exhale, bring your hands to your heart for a moment. You feel your heart beating, body breathing. Now to really step outside, again, changing that radial dial, stepping outside of what we're always engaged in and really coming into self. Getting quiet, connecting to peace that's within. Because life's going to keep happening, right? We want to be able to have connection to this part of ourselves that we can always access. Why meditation can be such a comfort, like a place to go to connect to yourself and connect to something greater. Let's try a couple more postures. Inhale, arms reaching up. Fill the belly. Breathe in comfort. Breathe in whatever you're needing today. Exhale, coming down into that chair pose. We're going to step the right leg back. We're going to bring that right heel down. So my foot, if my right foot were like the hand of a clock, it would be pointing to 2 o'clock. I'm going to get real solid in my legs. I can bring my hands to the top of the thigh. I can start to bring my torso upright. You should feel a stretch in your calf. If you don't, you probably have the foot turned too far out to the side. Dial it to about that 45-degree angle. And inhale, let's reach the arms up. The warrior pose, really powerful pose. Your left thigh is working, your right heel is pushing down, everything is square to the front. Fill the lungs, breathe in such a way your heart appreciates. See that calm, still lake. I want to teach us a variation of Warrior 3. Okay, it's a variation, it's a supported variation. I really want everybody to have blocks. My hands come to the blocks. My back heel lifts. I have to shorten my stance because I'm in a tiny space. My hands are going to come forward on the blocks, and I'm going to lift this back leg up without rotating my hip. So the hip is going to want to open. I'm going to try to keep my right hip down. I'm going to work this left hamstring. It's going to work the right glutes. Breathe here and hold it. Release that right foot to meet the left. Bend both knees, coming back into that chair pose. Drop your hips. Bring it up to stand. Inhale. Fill the body with breath. And we're going to go back down for the second side, come back into chair. So every time we're coming into chair, we're working the quads, we're working the glutes, and you're working the spinal extensors. If I don't engage my back, I'm going to be rounded. So we want to stay open through the chest so the lungs can fill. We're coming down, weight into the blocks. The left foot steps back. I plant my left foot down. My left toes would be turning to 10 o'clock. Getting that calf stretch, hands can come to the top of the right thigh and walk it back. Hips square to the front. Arms reaching up. Steady your gaze. There's such a balance, the polarity in everything really, when you look at it that way. But here, for instance, it's a strong pose. We're engaged. It's more of a masculine posture because we're using muscular energy. It's fiery. But then we bring in the softness. We bring in the softness with our face, with our breath. And you relax your toes. Always looking for that balance. We're going to bring the hands down. We're going to lift that back heel. I'm shortening my stance just for space. I'm going to take this left leg up. So eventually warrior three, your hands are in prayer. They're reaching forward. Hands are on the blocks here. Toes are dialed down. You can always bend that standing leg if you need. Straight spine. It's a challenging pose. And then left foot meets the right. Coming back into that chair, strong legs, push to stand, inhale, breathe in. And exhale, see if the hands want to settle at the heart again. Like how often do we give ourselves time to pause and pay attention to your own heartbeat or your pulse in the body, or your breath? To catch yourself when you're racing and rushing through. There's a disconnect in that. And to slow down and just pay attention to something you might otherwise overlook. Okay, we're going to do a couple more. If anything's too challenging, just watch, okay? And breathe with me and be present with me, and that's success. Reach the arms up, inhale. Do a couple more strong postures, exhale. We're going to send the right leg back. This time, as you bring the right heel down, open the foot all the way so your foot's parallel to the back of the mat. Keep those blocks close, come all the way up to standing. You're facing the long edge of the mat. We're going to open the arms and lunge into that left knee. With some stronger postures here. And then we'll do more passive, kind of feminine poses where we're passive. You're going to take reverse triangle. I take my right arm down, my left arm up, opening the left side of the body. I'm going to do a little triangle pose here, and I'm going to offer a half moon. I'm going to show you how to do it at the wall if you want. I bring that block to the outside. It's at the third level. I'm going to open up my right shoulder, open up my right rib cage. So if I did this at a wall, my hip's probably on the wall, my bottom hip. My top shoulder probably isn't, my head isn't. So you kind of imagine that leaning back and extending the arm up. And breathing. When there's tension, sometimes I'll feel it in my chest, or I'll feel it somewhere in the body, and I just bring the breath right in there. Just a part of us that wants attention. All right, I want to try this half moon, and I want to show you how to do it at the wall. I'm going to show you how to do it at the mat. We've done it before. Some of these are challenging. I bring my hand forward and I take my back leg up. This time I let my hip open. I let the right hip open. Again, if this is new to you, I'd recommend watching. I'm going to show you how to do it at the wall. And then the arm extends up. If I did it at the wall, can you see me? Yes. Okay. And then it's there to support me. You know, if you've not done these things before, it can be like, what? Scary. I want to challenge you, and I also want you to be safe. Okay, the foot's going to come down. We're back into that chair pose. Drop your hips. Powerful legs. Bring us up to standing. Inhale. Bringing hands to heart again. Exhale. Connecting in. How does your body want you to breathe? We're going to inhale the arms overhead again. Let's try this other side. Come back into that chair pose. And the left leg back. And open the foot all the way. Come up to standing. Our right toes are pointing to the top. Left foot's parallel to the back. Extend the arms out. My shoulders stay over my hips. Lunge into that warrior two. Tendency is to reach. Keep it right over your shoulders. Lunging, strong in your legs. That balance of effort and ease, of contraction and relaxation. Yoga means to yoke. It's the balance of two. It's a balance of both. Night and day, sun and moon, masculine and feminine, joy and suffering, it's all of it. Go ahead and straighten that front leg. Take the back arm down. Top arm reaches up. Get a little squeeze for the kidneys here on that left side. See if you want to go a little further. And then hand slides down. Again, you could be at the wall. You could do your triangle pose at the wall. In triangle pose, the ribs want to kind of puff up. You want to drop them down and extend. That's going to give you that deeper stretch through the inner thigh and through the waist, extending the arm up. Have this visualization of like all of us breathing and think. Hand coming to the hip, you're going to find your half moon, bring it to the wall. You can always watch, you can visualize it in the body, you can just make it really tiny. You know, if it's not available, it's something to work towards. If it's not challenging enough, email me. I'll show you how to make it harder. Always ways to evolve. We're going to bring it down, both feet to the mat, dropping your hips. Okay, no more flow now. Inhale all the way up, strong legs. And last time, coming back to self, hands on your heart. Yeah, I think that's such a beautiful practice again and again. Just the phrase coming home to yourself, coming back to yourself, coming back to wholeness. There's a really beautiful shamanic practice that I think about, I offer often to myself or to anyone that I'm working with. That on the inhale, you're calling all parts of self that you've given away back. And on the exhale, you're sending back anything that you've picked up on that's not yours to hold. And we do that with every inhale and every exhale, with the intention to come back into just kind of energetic sovereignty, really. Let's do one balancing pose before I bring you down. We're going to finish just a few minutes early because I want to open it up for people to just kind of connect in 5 minutes at the end of class, okay? So let's do, let's catch hold of your right foot. You can hold onto a wall. So what I often see when we're holding the right foot is the knee either goes forward or it goes out. Try to line your thighs up. Little micro bend maybe to the standing leg. Take this left arm and reach it up. This might be your pose, and maybe your left hand's holding onto something, and that's fine. So in the beginning, it's balance and quads. Eventually, it becomes more of a back bend. So if you've ever done a bow on your belly where you reach back for both feet, this would kind of be like a half bow. It's more about extension and hip flexion and quad strength. And you just let it. You find that edge for the day, and then release and take an exhale. And shaking is great. And I'm a little, I don't do the full, just know if you're ever feeling anxious or just like, really wonderful practice. Many times I've excused myself, to go wherever, to just kind of breathe and just release tension. It's an act of self-care, when we set a boundary, when we, choose ourselves, really. Left foot. So just holding, getting the quad stretch, little bend of the knee, little smile. We get to be on the mat. We get to move together. We get to breathe together. Extending the arm. Like deeper self-love, really. For me, so much of this practice is about that, is to meet the judgment, to meet the harsh voice, to meet the frustration, and to bring in compassion, loving awareness. Find that deeper bow if you feel to. That particular pose actually is about transformation. So just releasing again. All right, I'm going to have us lay down. Do about 5 minutes on the ground. Go ahead and lay down and just hug your knees into your chest and really give yourself a good hug. Draw your legs in. Infinite, all the different postures we could do. Yeah, hugging in, rocking across your back. When we are emotionally tense, the body's going to brace. It's actually an ally in a way, that bracing. It's trying to protect, but it can create some challenges in the body. Reach for your feet, take a happy baby. So, I guess what I mean by that is when the tension's there, to be curious about why it's there and to see what's needed to move it. To have compassion for the journey that you've taken. Releasing the feet down. All right, heels line up with your seat. Scoop your shoulder blades in so your chest puffs. I want to encourage you, shoulders back. I think even, I'll say just as women, not that, all inclusive here, but, there might be a tendency to shy away from opening your chest, drawing your shoulders back, lifting your collarbones. That would make sense, right? But it allows the lungs to breathe. It's a more expanded, kind of open, receptive posture, and it can be uncomfortable. Lift your hips up. Bridge pose is like an antidote for rounded shoulders, for the sitting that we do. Interlaced hands underneath you if you can, wrapping the shoulders, straightening the arms, lifting and spreading your toes. Strong arms, strong legs. Nice open spine. And then let's release down. Feet together, knees apart. I also find when we're trying to figure something out that we can't quite solve, surrender in prayer. So pause here for a moment, knees dropping out. Sometimes what we're needing, desiring, longing for, only we can give ourselves. So good to be nourished by relationships, supported by relationship. And the most important one for me is with self. And whatever word you would give to something greater than that, right? The divine, or whatever name you give it. Bring your knees together. And a few poses I always do. Knees together, this internal rotation. We don't get it. We don't do this day to day. I mean, unless you're doing a yoga practice or some kind of practice that's encouraging this internal rotation, we lose that mobility. So somebody mentioned hips, knees together. Drop your knees to the right. Take your arms overhead, or at least that left arm. Breathe into the whole left side of the body, the lungs, the abdomen, the heart, that whole left side. I think if there's one thing I know really well, it's self-care. And I love to help. Love to help. Take it to the left. Reach your right arm overhead. Okay, we're going to bring it back to center. Any final movement that you need. I'm going to guide us through a little bit of breath work as we lie down. So extend the legs out. See where your hands want to go. You might want to rest on your belly. Really easy to get disconnected from, from the belly. So there's a lot there. There's wisdom in the body, wisdom in the belly, wisdom in the heart, wisdom in the, third eye. So let your eyes close, soften your mouth, soften your jaw, the eyes. Let yourself feel held. Let yourself feel that the space that you're in energetically is, love infused, or whatever word you want to give it. Letting the belly expand. Again, we're taught to pull it in, pull the belly in. Yes, that's good, but we also want to really be able to let it expand. Staying with your breath, what I want you to focus on is slowing the exhalation down, like a lot. Giving it your full attention. Anchoring in with every cycle of breath, your positive intention for your healing, wherever you are on your journey. Allowing yourself to be without doing, to receive with every in-breath, to release with every out-breath, to feel the weight of your bones, to remember what, surrender in the body even feels like. To feel that peace. offer this prayer. I've probably read it before, although I have hundreds. And it says, "Oh, beloved, change me into one who knows how to relax completely, sleep deeply, and receive the blessings every moment as they arise. Change me in one who deeply trusts in the divine plan. May I feel gratitude and ease every day. May I remain centered in all conditions, even those that are volatile and difficult. Hold me at my center. Allow me to relax in calm peace, knowing that all is in perfect divine order. Change me into one who trusts your process and knows that I am being guided to the perfect resolution of all seeming dilemmas. The divinely right solutions are already selected and being born. I can breathe, relax, receive, and be guided. I am safe, and all is well." So let your breath come in a little more fully. Like we're breathing in and breathing out together. Let your body roll onto your right side. Support your head on your upper arm. Keep your eyes closed. If you feel to, find your way up to a comfortable seat with me with a straight spine, open heart. There's a really sweet concept that when we're in connection with a group, that there's almost an unconscious syncing up with the most calm nervous system in the room. It's called co-regulation. You know, we want to learn self-regulation, but that's why we come to someone, to be comforted, and we're selective about who we go to. So we can think about that, and you are welcome to lean into me, just from an energetic standpoint. It's the same thought of like if you leave grandfather clocks in the room for days, eventually they're all moving in sync. All right, so hands coming to prayer. Again, hands being an extension of the heart. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for trusting me and for being here. Namaste. So I think we just wanted to open it up. You know, what I have shared, so feel free to unmute and feel free to chime in. But what I have shared is, I love this practice, and part of what is so sweet, or what I hope you feel, is the connection between each other. So feel free to unmute. I can stay, I can stay a bit after if anybody has any questions for me. I just know that for me, when I was taking classes, truly it's the teacher that made me show up. I wanted a good practice, but it was, that kind of connection. So I just am welcoming that. If anybody wants to let your voice be heard or say hello or ask me a question. 23 of us here.
Thank you. And my hip feels already a little better.
Your hip feels a little better?
It was really
good.
Tight.
Okay. Diva. Beautiful. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Every week it feels like it's
so good. Thank you. Anybody else? Turn your camera on. Hi, Stacy. Good to see you.
Everything feels better. Everything.
Emily,
thank you.
What's that?
Everything feels better. Thank you.
Okay. Melinda, nice to meet you. Yeah, Alexandra, you have a question. How perfect. I should just have you raise your hand.
That's
yeah,
I just wanted
Alexandra.
to say thank you for these classes.
You're welcome.
I initially have been, since the session started, and initially I thought too much talking, but I realized how important it is today. I just feel so much more relaxed. So I wanted to say thank you for for putting that in and saying something about it today, because I think it is very important. So thank you very
Okay.
much.
Okay. Thank you. And yeah, let me know, like, if you want more silence. I tend to want to like guide you to keep you present, but if you want more pockets of just quiet, I can do that too. Who raised their hand? Hi, Freddie.
Hi, I'm home with COVID, and usually I miss these classes because I'm at work, because I'm in California, I'm in LA, so it's only 11 o'clock in the morning, so I can't do them. So I appreciate the opportunity, because I haven't been able to go to my yoga studio since it closed, and it's been hard on me. So I appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Emily?
Yeah. Yes. Hi, Stacy.
Hi. It's nice to see you face to face. I mean,
I know.
I've been writing to you privately. That I love these sessions. I've tried yoga years ago. I've tried my own meditation. This is like, to me, the perfect balance of everything, because what I'm finding is the mindfulness is so empowering, and I think so many of us on our journeys, and maybe even different journeys, it's just bringing such a sense of peace. Like, I just know that I say Wednesdays 2:00, nobody can touch that, that's like my thing. So I really thank you. And you are so right. It's the instructor. It's not, I mean, I could go to yoga anywhere or do anything, but it's you that's bringing some sort of magic. I think that you all are feeling.
Thank you. Yeah, truly, you guys, there's a resonance, and there either is a resonance or there isn't, and it's okay. It's not personal. I mean, I want everybody to be happy, because I just do. But anyway, thank you for that reflection, Stacy, and thank you for connecting with me. Anybody else? Any other questions? I'm an open book. I am. Or requests. It's good to see some of your faces.
And it was nice that you opened it up at the end for a couple of minutes. Maybe nobody wants to say anything, but instead of just the class ending abruptly, it gave everyone just a chance to talk.
Yeah, good. This is really an evolution. I mean, I think, it can be shaped and changed to what we want. And usually what happens is, we get 40 people here, and it eventually kind of trickles down to whomever really feels the resonance. And I'm the same way, Stacy. When I have something that's nourishing me, it's a non-negotiable, and nothing's going to get in the way. It's going to have to be pretty important, but it's got to feel right. It's got to be that magnetic pull of, I want to be here, as opposed to a discipline of like, I should be here and I'm supposed to be here. I want you to, it's important for you and your self-care and whatever you're choosing as your medicine. So look for what's magnetic, like just a yes. I don't want to miss it. It feeds me. It nourishes me.
Right.
Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Anne. Thank you for this.
Where's Anne? You're welcome, Anne. Oh, hi, Anne. Okay, I see you now.
Self-care. Self-care is that ever-evolving circle of what keeps me in the moment. I'm very grateful to have this here. Didn't know about it until this week, so I'm glad.
I'm glad you're here. Nice to see you. It's so sweet for me to see your faces and get to know your names and say hello.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Sometimes it takes courage to turn the camera on, right? And I totally respect if you don't want to, but I'll just, here I am with my, crazy curly hair and a ponytail. It's all fine. We're just here to, receive and heal together. So, anybody else?
Trina. Hello?
Yes? Who's talking?
Trina.
Hi, Trina. Hi.
Hi. I tried. I couldn't do much.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, it's that's the practice. So for you, part of the practice is, how do I receive? How do I let this nourish me, even though I'm limited?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, but you showed up. I hope you received something.
I kind of was frustrated because I couldn't really, really move my arm, and that's because of the I had my right breast removed, so the right arm, I'm still working on it. It is getting better. It's just like it's a very, very slow process, and it kind of get irritating a little bit, and aggravating.
So I understand. I hear you. I'm acknowledging you for showing up anyway. And I think for now, if it is supportive to breathe, to be in community, to have the pause, to do a few of the little stretches, and that feels good to you, then let that be your why.
Okay.
To show up.
Okay.
Yeah. And I so get it. And I just say, you are so not alone. I guarantee you, you're not alone.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And blessings on your healing. Yeah.
I know this isn't a support. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
a support group, but I also am a mastectomy patient, and I couldn't lift my arm up this far. You know how I know this is gross. The hair doesn't grow under your arms anymore after that. This took me like 8 months, and I can do that. I couldn't lift my arm. So it took a long time, and you still have the numbness and everything, but yoga, it's yoga that saved me.
So good. Thank you.
I don't know what I would do without it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. Supporting her. It's not a support group, but we are here to,
I know,
say,
was
I
yoga
haven't walked. Right. I'm glad. I haven't gone through cancer, but I've had double mastectomy and reconstruction twice. So I understand as much as I can, what that healing process is like. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the positivity, Melinda.
Getting the,
right.
They don't match. That's,
Right.
But still.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wait, she said they don't match?
No, I can't. When you do.
Her mobility in both shoulders is different. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can't get that one back yet, but I can get it straight up and over. So
good.
Thank you, yoga. Thank you, Emily.
Oh, well, that's encouraging.
Good.
Don't give up.
All right. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yes.
All right. Unless anybody else has another question, we can close if there's one more. Anybody else wanting to speak but hesitating? Okay. All right. You got a great smile, Audra.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Stephanie, anything else we should touch into?
No, just thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining this third week. It is recorded. The recordings take a few days or so, but they do go up on our website if you want to, enjoy this every day. We want to make it accessible for you. So yeah, we're just happy to offer this to you, and it was nice to hear, some of your feedback and being able to connect, like Emily said as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, blessing you guys. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm glad they're recorded.
Thank you.